Painter Files breakfast show known as Painter's Breakfast. How's it going? What's going on? How is you? Good? Good. I got a pretty cool breakfast today. I don't know if you could see it. Let's see. Yes, now you can see it. Let's invite some people, see if they want to come and hang out with us. They are welcome to. They might not want to, but that's okay. Let me see. Whom else can we invite? Special invites. The cat come. Alright. So, not a vegan meal today. Got cheese. Hey, Tina. So, today's breakfast is a spicy plum jam, part of a baguette, a little bit of brie, and some veggie sausage. And that cheese is how I'm rolling today. So, I hope you enjoy. What are you having for breakfast today? Did you have breakfast today? These are all questions. If not, why not? I was reading this book called The Blue Room. It's about Frida Kahlo's house, or the Blue House is what it's called. That's really good. You're having coffee and a banana. Very nice. Very swanky. At your new little food space, I imagine. So this book is about Frida Kahlo's Blue House in Mexico, and I started reading it originally because she had instructions when she died that her personal bathroom not be open for 15 years, which her husband Diego Rivera had agreed to do so, but then he left it closed for another like 30 years. But in that, you have like a lot of things that are like traditionally Frida in them. That you saw in paintings, like this jam is really good. Her paintings that had stuff like like her bodices, her leg, so on and so forth. Awesome. Yes. Banana from my banana hammock. Nice. I see what you did there. Clever. But she had all these recipes also about her that she really loved. And so one of the things I got from it was she had like this kind of bread and cheese dish that I really liked. And so she'd add a bunch of spices to like a cheese loaf. And she'd heat it up in the oven. And it was just this like really interesting flavor stuff. But also in the same aspect, like her recipes would have like little touches of personality in them. Because she had like Capuchin monkeys where she lived. And so it would say something like, yes, you want to heat it up, you want to bake it, you want to do these things, and you put it out in the window, but make sure the monkeys don't get to it. And it was such a funny line to me. It was such like a personal experience that I enjoyed. Anybody who's ever had like cats or dogs can relate to that, where it's like you want to put it out to let it cool, but you also have to like keep an eye on your little animals because they are thieves and are shameless. Mm. That spicy plum, oh my god, so good. There's so much joy right now. Mm. So many things to green screen from that gift right there. I think the thing that I've always liked about veggie sausages is that they always put so much like spices and seasonings and stuff in them, which I don't eat meat, so I don't really know that they don't do that with regular sausage, but I assume they don't do that with regular sausage, that it's not like packed full of like whole pieces of like cardamom and cumin and stuff like that. Like maybe there are and I just don't know about it. I mean, like I said, I don't know, I don't eat it, so I haven't much to base it on, but I do feel pretty good about it. About my theory, my thought. I love watching your stuff, your sausages into your mouth. Nice. Also, something to put on the green screen. There we go. They're just good, man. They're just so good. I love that shit. Ah, it's so good. Mm. Because like even when I look inside of it, there's like big old pieces of like cardamom seed and like peppercorn and fennel and stuff like that in there. They do season sausages. All right. Well, thank you, Tina. I did not know that. Oh, so it's exactly the same. Well, now I know. This is just sweet tea from like Turkey Hill at the grocery store. I didn't do anything fancy with that. It's okay. I mean, it's a very hot day. It's gonna be like in Maryland. They're saying it's gonna be almost 100 degrees, if not 100 degrees. So if you're outside today, please like drink a lot of water and stay in the shade, or don't go outside. There's so many things, so many suggestions. I know you can't really listen to or do, but Tina says it's gonna be the death of the Irish. I take it you mean the sausages, not the heat. Maybe the heat too. I don't know. Congratulations to Tina, by the way, on her kick-ass apartment. Oh, I got somebody on the YouTube. Nice breakfast you got there. Well, thank you very much. I feel pretty good about it. There's a lot of flavor, you know? So, story time. When Alec and I got married, we didn't have a lot of money, so Tina says the Irish are allergic to the sun. Said we are allergic to the sun. All right, fair enough. So when Alec and I first got married, we didn't have a lot of money, so for our honeymoon, we went to Portland, Oregon. And when we were there, we tried all these like veggie foods and like all these like really, really kind of powerfully flavorful ingredients for things. I had like a veggie Reuben. So it was like a sliced up pickle they made. It was very, very, very good with this, trying to think, kind of Dijon dressing. I'm not really sure. And then like on rye bread. And it was just really, really, really flavorful. Like I was impressed significantly how just delicious all of it was. And I think since then, I've kind of been on this kick of trying to like make this like really great breakfast that kind of runs counter to that. Because what they did was they took an entire room, like it was the Ace Hotel, and they had taken this entire, room basically, and then made it into like a little breakfast nook where you could go. Let me see. I just got toast and sausage for breakfast. Nice. That has to be very good. Hmm. And yeah, I've just been kind of like in this like mood to get these foods going, to get these flavors like and make all these things taste really good. They're doing construction above me. If you hear like a buzzing noise, so apologies. I hate some of my neighbors. They're the worst. They do super loud things at horrible times during the day. Many a time I've been woken up at 8 o'clock in the morning, and they've done that. It's kind of the downside about living in like a condo as opposed to an apartment. Like an apartment has certain rules. Condos have rules, but they're very lax on like actually putting them forward. Tina asked, "Where did you get the spicy plum jar from?" Giant actually. It's kind of cool. You want me to bring it? I'll bring it out. I was like, there's a gate here because the cats are monsters and they like to get into the kitchen. So, here we go. Spicy plum chutney. It's really good. It's about $6 from Virginia Chutney. Fantastic. Worth every dollar. Nice. Yeah. No, I think the funny thing about like this whole show is I've always really loved like cookbooks and like trying to like find recipes and stuff like that. Like my mom kind of brought me up in this whole like she sends me random cookbooks to this day. I'll get like some like weird like little vegan or strangely veggie cookbook from my mom. And it's just nice. Like some of the recipes are really interesting. Some of them are weird. Like every once in a while, like there's always like at least one recipe that's a little pushy. She never sends me like the art of baking. It's always like 10 recipes to stop yourself from heart disease or some type of stuff like that, or the vegan way to replace meat. And like I'll go through all of them, and there's typically like about 10 or 20 recipes that are really good. Some of them are just very boring, which is always strange. This would be like a recipe for like oatmeal. You're like, mm-hmm. Go on. I'm like, oh, and then just like sprinkle some pumpkin seeds on there, and you're like, yeah, I don't want that. It's not delicious. I think the hardest one I tried years ago. It was very simple, but I did not like it at all. Was overnight oats. I do not like overnight oats. I I like my oatmeal to be soft. One second, I'm gonna move this over. Let me see. Jack says, "Ah, no, I could see it, and then I couldn't see it. I missed the question." Okay, my chat. There we go. I'm sorry. See stuff. I have. All right. Hey, Jack on YouTube says, "Why do you do this to me? Dang, it's so hard to read stuff." Let's go live chat. There we go. Ever thought about eating something inedible? Um, I mean, I've definitely done it. I don't think I've purposely done it, but I've definitely done it before. Like what? Like what specifically do you think when you think inedible? You think like gold? Do you think like some type of paper of sorts? Squid ink? What do you mean? I agree with Tina. Said she's really looking forward to getting back into cooking. I think there's something really beautiful about cooking, and like popcorn ceiling. No, I've never thought about that. It's an interesting thought, though. But no, I've never thought about that. Hmm. I think the closest thing was I got into pickling a long time ago. My friend was really into pickling. He had like a garden, and so we started pickling like inanimate objects that, not inanimate objects, but we started pickling like odd vegetables that you wouldn't normally see people pickle, like rosemary and stuff, and a lot of spices and whatnot to make like kind of an interesting, like wet seasoning of sorts for like fish, and then eventually like mushrooms and stuff. That was interesting. I'm trying to keep track of time. IG has a tendency to time out on things. YouTube, on the other hand, will let me just go on forever. Um, but yeah, it was always interesting. Definitely did distilling for a little while. That was kind of fun. I assisted someone in doing distilling work. So they would take like juniper and stuff like that and make like gins and vodkas and stuff like that. It was interesting. Have you ever tried raw tomatoes? Yes, of course. Naturally. Do people not eat tomatoes raw typically? I mean, I know people cook tomatoes on occasion, but it never occurred to me that people would try to, that people would be opposed to eating raw tomatoes. They hate raw tomatoes. That seems like such a strong opinion for people to hate raw tomatoes. Like, I understand they despise it. Jacques is great. Um, I've never known anyone to. I guess I do know people who they don't like the feel of raw vegetables. Maybe that's it. Of like tomatoes. They're too explosive, I guess, in a lot of ways. there's that whole point that they're a fruit because they have seeds, even though they very much feel like you're eating a vegetable. So there's that. I once dated this girl in high school who was she was a raw foodist. Which isn't a big deal now, but I'm an old man, so it was a long time ago. We'll put it that way. It predates YouTube, put it that way. Tina's a huge fan. You're not a huge fan? I'm not a huge fan of raw tomatoes. Huh, that's interesting. Have you tried slicing them really thin? You know? I think I'm not a person who likes to bite into raw tomatoes like it's like I'm eating a plum or something of that nature. I don't like that. I'm not into that part. I like to slice them and then season them. Then they're amazing. Or quarter them. They're good. I'm not really like a bite into into a tomato. Tina says, I have, and when I get ones where the meat's gritty. Oh, that's interesting. Best way. Chuck says, what is the best way to taste in your life? I think in a lot of ways it's about the way you cut things. Because I think sometimes it's overwhelming for people. Like I'm a sashimi guy. I like cuts of fish. Uh, and I don't mind if it's like a big piece of like big fatty piece. Like I can eat that and it doesn't bother me. But I know a lot of people like they need stuff to be cut small and diced, and then I think it's a lot of times the way it's presented kind of gets people. Like I dislike cottage cheese with a passion. I think cottage cheese looks the nastiest of all the things I've indulged in my life as far as eating goes. I think cottage cheese just looks gross. Um, I don't mind the taste of it, but I don't like the look of it. It's just something about it. It looks rotten to me. So it looks all curded and stuff. So curdled. So I dislike that about it. So. Mm. Mm-hmm. Ah, sweet or sour, salty or spicy, Jack says. I'm a big spicy food person. Like maybe that's just where I'm from. Like parts of Latin America and parts of the Caribbean, we eat a lot of spicy food. All day, every day, constantly. So I guess that's probably more what I lean towards. I'm really big on like spicy food. That's because it is curdled, not spoiled. Oh, Tina says it is curdled. Okay, well that makes sense. You can get different sized curds. Tina says with cottage cheese. It's just always. I think the way it's always been presented to me has always kind of been nasty. Like I used to know people who used to like spoon it, put it on like a peach, and then eat a peach. And to me, that just looks the nastiest thing I've ever seen. So I couldn't really get into it. Um, I'm trying to think. There were so many. I just remember there was so beet cheese. Hmm. Like from beets. That's interesting. Hmm. Never thought about it. years upon years ago. Ah, I see, Jacques. I see. Tina says you can get different sized curds. No, thank you. You can keep your curds. I think of like Little Miss Muffet. Do you know that saying? Little Miss Muffet sat on a tuffet, eating her curds and whey. Along came a spider and sat down beside her and drove Miss Muffet away. And then there's like more that goes on to it, and that may not even be the exact quote. Um, my mom used to say it to me all the time as a kid. And I just remember there was this guy for years who I watched on YouTube who used to find old recipes from great artists who weren't always great people, but they were incredible artists, and they would try and mimic their day to day life for a week. So the foods they ate and the activities they did to practice their skills, and also the way they ate, etc. Um, and it was just interesting. It was I must have sat down and accidentally watched probably like an hour and a half of it, and I found it just very fascinating. And so I started doing this because I thought it was interesting. Not that I am what they are yet, but yeah, it's just interesting to me. Now, as far as my activities for the day, so Painter Fells podcast is done with season 3, so season 4 will come about. Would you rather eat saltiest food or sweetest food for your whole life? Jacques says. Um, I'd probably rather eat sweet food, honestly. I don't know that I like really salty food, you know? But hang out with Tina. That's what Tina said. So the show's on for is off till probably about fall, as far as the podcast goes. I've got a few commissions I got to work on today. I've got a few things I want to plan out with the podcast that I haven't done yet. Got to set up some interviews for it. I have, like I said, I have a couple commissions. I'm in talks with doing a mural in the Potomac, so that'd be really cool. And yeah, just nothing really huge. Best curry. Jacques says best curry. Well, I'm gonna have to say there's this yellow curry. It's like got a chana to it, which I used to have with like roti all the time as a child, and that is probably my favorite. Like that's probably my favorite curry. I'm West Indian, so like there's that. I do like the red Thai curries though. They're just really, really, really good. It's got a kick to it, which I like. So then hang out with Tina. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. I got to see all the stuff I got to do. I got to clean the house too, though, which I'm less excited about, but it's necessary. You got to clean house. Everything's mostly at a standstill as far as the condo stuff. Waiting for people to come see it so we can sell it and buy a cool house. I wish lumber wasn't so expensive. I need to buy a very big wooden slat so that I can put paper on it. I can magnetize paper to it. We use magnets, both sides, to hold paper up so I can do big paintings again. I cannot currently do them, which is driving me a little insane. but we'll see. Yeah, I know. Boo, fire her. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. But yeah, for the most part, just trying to get a lot of stuff done. And see, Jack says, out of food questions, but what is your favorite song? My favorite song? I think there's been so many throughout the years that that is a very complicated question. um, my favorite song. My current favorite song is So Sweet by Japanese Breakfast. So go check them out. Or, wait, Be Sweet? Maybe it's Be Sweet. I don't know. Sweet. Whichever. Um, yeah, I think food's really, I think like music is really important. So it's always kind of progressively becoming more and more a thing that really grabs me. But this is my last bite, so the show is about to end. I hope you're well. Mmm, very good. Hope you're well. I hope the week is nice to you. I hope the day is nice to you. And I will see you later. Painter out. I guess that's my exit sound. Painter out. Ciao. And goodbye.